Well, welcome everyone to this episode of Breakpoint. Today we have Sripati MS. He is the VP Risk of Utkarsh Small Finance Bank. Hi Sripati, welcome to the show.
Hi Nilu, pleasure being here.
Okay, so we are entering the rapid fire round for today's episode. So my first question to you, Sripati, is, have you ever seen standards being misinterpreted, like by different implementers, like in a funny way?
Not misinterpretation, but yeah, different interpretations. So for example, I have two things that I have seen predominantly. So first is, there is a step called gap assessment that every consultant does before embarking on the implementation. So this is basically understand where the organization is currently. So that's the part of scope of gap assessment. So we look at all the clauses and whether it has been implemented in some form or the other. We also look at controls. Now, the place where it gets interesting is some implementers insist that all of these controls are implemented. So the logic behind is, you anyways will have to implement one or two controls, even if you keep them not applicable in SOA. But the problem with that is, it's like putting the, what is that, horse before the cart or cart before the horse, something like that. So they
cart before the horse.
Cart before the horse. So unless you do risk assessment and you only after you do risk assessment, you will understand which controls you need. You may not need all the controls, but many of them still get implemented. So that's part of it. Second is, asset-based risk assessments are gone now. ISO actually, woke up and said, okay, they understood this asset-based thing is not going very well, and it's just a food for auditor. So they focused on risk assessment. You perform risk assessment, you identify risk. Earlier it was like you identify assets, you give them ratings, you identify threats, you give them rating, you identify vulnerability, combine all of them, then you evaluate risk, all that. Now it is only you do risk assessment. So, but many implementers still try to push that asset-based thing. So which results in lot of time, because companies, I have seen companies who are chasing this asset inventory Excel sheets. Oh, they forever. So much so that it sometimes it gets flagged as spam. By many deliveries. I don't have this much inventory. Go away. That sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you want so much, then buy some more and add it to the list.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
The spirit gets lost somewhere. So in that.
Okay, so according to you, right, when is an organization ready for an ISMS or ISO implementation? Like, are there any specific budgets, resources, certain size that you reach? Like, what in terms of security, if security teams are going for it, what should be the consideration?
Security is still for outsiders. What I mean is, it's like we dress up. Very few people dress up for themselves. Majority of us dress because we have to. You're going to a party, you cannot go in your pajama. Simple, right? So similarly, people take up ISMS when a customer asks for it, or there is an external force to implement. Otherwise, so that is when they will be ready. So if a customer asks, they will be ready. So that's the thing.
That's like the real answer for yeah. Okay, so you've been talking about, so in the entire main episode, and I would ask everyone to see the main episode, it's quite interesting. You've been talking about being, thinking of this as a top-down approach, and this is when it is most effective. But when you talk about a top-down approach, who are the key stakeholders in your case who are essential for doing this implementation in an organization?
The top management must involve in review from a governance part, and they are the ones who are able to see an organization as an abstraction. They can see. So for example, a person in legal won't be able to appreciate the work of other departments. No offense, but that's not his job. He's immersed in his work or her work, right? Similarly, a developer will not understand why we have HR, okay, or why we have payroll? Automate it. Simple. You know how
Perennial
much it costs.
question.
Right, right. But only a top guy understands why we need HR, why we need finance, why we need accounts, why there are two separate terms called accounts and finance, why there are two separate departments, you know. So they are used to see this in abstraction. And security, again, 27001 is a standard that establishes requirements to manage security of information. That's what it is, information security management system. The system to manage security of information. You just read it backwards or right to left. Maybe that is why there are so many implementations in Gulf. Anyways, okay. So
That was a good one.
maybe they understand it better because that's what it is.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are also, they have been, I think, also much ahead with the implementations and a lot of other security things also, ironically or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, but can you recall, like, any fun incident that you might have witnessed during a process of certification? So because all of this implementation is followed by certification. Have you seen anything interesting happening?
Oh yes. So once this we were in the middle of a certification audit, and we were part of the implementation team, and the auditor, maybe just to check, or maybe the auditor forgot where the exit is, so he opened the emergency door. Okay. And the team had gotten the alarms installed, and we had done so many drills, emergency evacuation drills. At least I think at least 3-4 within 3 months.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, that's too much actually. So yeah, so he opened and there was a large shrill sound, and then people got up and left. I mean, they went downstairs because they thought this is a DR drill.
The chai break.
So we chose to stay mum because the auditor was impressed, apparently. So we said, okay, people are diligent. I said, okay, we let it go.
Okay, great. So this one is slightly, I think, more personal to you, and we're interested to know. I think you have been doing compliance for a very long time now. I think risk and compliance has been your area, and you also seem very passionate about it. But if you're not doing compliance, what else would be your favorite pastime?
Maybe I would have tried to become a singer. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Can you sing a line for us?
Oh, okay. हंसते गाते सोचा था मैंने मन में कई बार, वो पहली नजर हल्का सा असर करता है क्यों इस दिल को बेकरार. That's it. I guess I'll stop.
Thank you so much. I think you have a very good voice, and of course, if you were a singer, I think sometimes that artists end up earning way more than security folks.
Yeah, no, I came into security because my father pushed me out of the door. He said, "You are good for nothing. At least learn this computer thing. It will get you some money."
Oh, okay.
That's how.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah. Okay. We got a guru. We got a very good guru. So, yeah, thanks to him.
Okay, cool. Thanks for being on the show today and sharing all of these interesting incidents with us and all the fun stories. So thanks a lot, Sripati, for joining us today in Breakpoint.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you. Thank you for having me.